be wary of that, future customers of this case. As you guys can see, the top mod's already done, and I'm terrible at planning things, and I don't have an intro for this, so the video just kind of starts. So, enjoy! So I've done a little bit of off-camera work, not very much. In the last one, we cut these bars down to size, that way I could stack them and glue them all together, because it's aluminum. I do not have the means to weld aluminum. I don't have the means to weld anything. Anyways, so we're going to glue them together, and yeah. The off-camera work that I've done is I soaked these in acetone, cleaned them all up, made them mostly shiny and pretty and stiff, and then I also cut down another bar. I said in the last one I needed one more bar. Well, I got that one more bar and I cut them down. These are still pretty rough edges, so I've got gloves around here if I deem them necessary, but I don't think that that's going to be a thing. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. So thank you guys for watching. Basically, the whole process here, I know you guys just saw it, but just to wrap things up, I had aluminum flat bars that I super glued together and then spray painted over, ground them down, made them as nice and even as I could, but I only had things like hand tools, so I had to file it by hand, and that is exhausting and takes forever. That would have been much easier if I had something like a grinding wheel or a belt sander or something automated. And then I glued the top panel to these flat bars, and the flat bars, the original braces of the original top panel. So, in hindsight, things that I would do better, I would not do glue at all. Instead, I would probably just braze everything. You can braze aluminum and you can braze tempered glass. You can't braze plastic though, but that matters very little. I didn't really have a huge problem with the plastic. This glass top, as you guys can see, I put it on upside down. You guys probably can't really see this all that well, but this is kind of like a reflective, almost like reflective aviator sort of tint. And the rest of the case is this underside, which is this smoky sort of thing. So one of them looks like mirrored when you look at it, and it's totally different from the rest of the case. And then, yeah, this was entirely my fault. I thought that it was going to be the same on both sides. I didn't check. It was my fault. Hindsight, probably should check. We got this glass from some glass supplier online. We'll have the link for that glass supplier online in the description down below. It wasn't all that cheap. Another couple of things that happened. Originally, when I came up with this idea, I knew that the tolerances were going to be within 1/4 of an inch. So when I ordered this top glass, it was within 1/4 of the inch, 1/4 of an inch of the length that I specified. This glass is a little bit too long. So when I put it on the original brackets, it actually hangs over. Currently, I don't have any screws holding it in the back, so it just kind of sits on top and looks pretty. Functionally, it does nothing, but keeps the cat out of the fan blades from my radiator. Another issue. So these are the original plastic brackets from the case. Now, honestly, if you were not doing this mod and you just had these original plastic brackets, this probably won't be an issue unless you have a lot of air cooling. Like, unless you have a lot of air-cooled parts that create a lot of heat. So probably if you had anything, Intel Extreme Edition, almost anything, just about any modern GPU, or worse, multiple modern GPUs, if they're air-cooled in this case, you may run into this issue. This plastic is not very robust. And so my problem that I encountered is to get it off of the original glass, I had to heat it up with a heat gun. And it caused it to warp a little bit. On the front, it's much more noticeable. Maybe that has to do with the twisting motion. You can't really see it here, but it is definitely something that has happened. So be wary of that, future customers of this case. I think that about wraps everything up. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the last modification that I will be doing to this case. I will be doing another video in the future about everything that I've done to this case in any modification fashion. So everything that I didn't like and have changed, and why I changed it. And with that comes a honest and detailed review. Don't forget to check out some of the other modification series that we did on the front panel, where we added ventilation to the front. We had like ventilation filters. And if you're interested in our social media, the links are all down below. I'm Austin. This has been Gaming as Adults.